On this episode, we are visiting a contemporary country barn set within 60 acres of beautiful rolling countryside. It is absolutely amazing. Today I'm here to meet Chris and Tansy, his daughter, who was the architect and designer of this beautiful contemporary home. A completely bespoke home, looking down through the valley. I'm almost speechless. The story is going to be very, very interesting to hear. So now let's go and meet Chris and Tansy. Good morning, Chris.
Morning.
How are
Welcome.
you? Good
Very
to
well,
see you.
thank you.
Beautiful position you have here.
You come on a beautiful day, so it shows it off.
It certainly does, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about the journey.
Come in and I'll show you around and I can tell you a bit of the story.
Fantastic, thank you. Chris, I would love to hear how you found this.
We'd been looking for probably a couple of years and found either fantastic houses in dodgy locations or fabulous locations with tiny pokey cottage that with not much opportunity to extend. Found this place, I thought location's fantastic, and from the initial photographs the house looked lovely as well. We had a survey done on it. The surveyor said you're not allowed to go in it anymore because it was that structurally unsound. Our original plan was to renovate and extend, but once we'd bought it, it became evident that wasn't an option, and we are so glad that it wasn't. It would have been very costly in this case because when we did get permission to demolish, we found so many of the oak beams had death watch beetle in, delaying the inevitable, I think. So we had to show that the house was worthless, that it didn't contribute to its landscape, and that demolishing it and building a new house would be a far better option. It was a bit of a battle with the planning committee. Got to the vote and we got our planning permission.
Now, there's a bit of a story about the actual design itself and a sort of a family link there, isn't there?
The architect is our daughter. And it was very nice to be able to give her the opportunity of designing her first house, probably earlier than she would otherwise have got.
And a great design to have for your portfolio going forward. And the setting in the valley here with the woods beyond, the tactile feel of the oak almost brings a thread through from the sort of nature outside into the house internally, which is a lovely feeling.
If you're going to build a new house, we wanted to take the opportunity of creating something with a bit more to it than just, boxy rooms. Having this double height space in this part of the house gives a lovely play of light and shadow. It's a lovely space to be in. Let me show you the rest of the house. Come in this way, I can introduce you to Tansy.
Tansy, how are you? Good to see you again. How are you?
Tansy designed the house. She'd only just qualified when we were considering building the house. So initially we discounted using you because of, not much experience, but it all turned out fabulously in the end.
How did you develop the design for the site?
Well, as you know, we weren't allowed to use the existing farmhouse. So we had carte blanche to start again, which was a wonderful opportunity. And we did look at several different options through the beginning of the planning process. But we did end up thinking that we wanted to keep the setting and the sense of having a main house quite similar to the original. We've got this chimney behind us that is it's anchoring the new house to the old because it's in the same location as that previous farmhouse chimney, which again had a similar organisation with rooms spread around the chimney. So we sort of started from that, and then we ended up with this amazing double height space with the views out to the landscape.
Yeah, I think this is great here. We've got the large windows looking down across the valley, and this feeling of space with the vaulted area running along the front part of the house. How did you find your great ideas were received by the planners?
I think pretty well to begin with. We had an amazing case officer. She was really enthusiastic and really supportive, which helped us to sort of formulate the initial ideas and go forward with the design. And then we sort of entered the process. We presented several different options at pre-app to just sort of get a feel for what would be acceptable and what wouldn't be. And then from then we had a good basis to go ahead and do the full plans.
From the making the pre-app through to gaining planning consent, what was that timeline? Can you remember how long that was?
It was 2 years pretty much exactly from the initial pre-op advice that we received to getting planning consent.
We have an in-house design team. It's lovely to be able to work with external architects, and I think what that does, it brings a different feel to houses and a different outlook, which is great to see. How did you find the team to work with?
I thought they were great. I think we got on well and we went through the process together. The drawings that you supplied were very clear in terms of where the footings needed to be for the posts, and then once we integrated that into the design, then we could work off of that, and that was very straightforward. We had some interesting discussions with Julian about paring the oak back a little bit, how some of the structural joints were going to work, especially with this chimney.
The whole process was a joy, really. We wanted the house to settle back into the landscape and not to be too prominent. We wanted to make use of the view,
Yes.
which meant large windows and quite a few of them on this facade. So you designed us some solar shutters.
So yeah, the shutters, they do several things. They contribute to the sort of the detailing of what would otherwise be a very oblique facade. They obviously help in terms of reducing the heat, and they frame the windows a little bit. It sort of helps with the design of the reveals that we've ended up with.
The master bedroom's downstairs, and the master bedroom is almost a self-contained unit in a way, isn't it?
And it takes advantage of a slightly different view from the main house, and it feels a bit more secluded in that way because it's slightly directed towards the pond. So it's separating the sort of experience of the view as well.
So Chris, we're here on the landing now.
There are 3 bedrooms here with a bathroom and an ensuite. We don't need 3 bedrooms, so we just took the wall off here, and this is a reading space. And then this was a good space to put my study.
I think it's a lovely space there. I mean, when you've got light from both directions, haven't you, coming in? I always say, if you can give an oak frame space, it will work really well. And certainly this central core of the house, you've opened it right up. I think the idea of the stairs, bringing it round the chimney as well, as you can see from here, it does give a lovely feature, doesn't it? You have MVHR?
Yep. And I sing the praises of that to anyone willing to listen, because I always got very frustrated with putting an awful lot of effort into double glazing and sealing around the windows, and then having a trickle vent,
Yes.
which just let the cold air back in.
Absolutely.
So MVHR gives you the ventilation, but without the downside.
And so Tansy, as an independent architect, what would you say your advice would be, both to an architect designing an oak frame who may not have designed one before, and also to customers who are commissioning an architect to design an oak frame?
Well, with this house, we went through several iterations of the plan. Coordination was key and is key, and I think that was something that we picked up on, to think about the location of your walls and your soil pipes in relation to the oak frame, because obviously you're not going to be drilling through that. Make sure that you've made the decision before it goes to production.
Living in the house now, if you're going to have a house designed for you, make the most of the spaces, I suppose. We're very lucky to have a beautifully designed house, but living in it from day to day, a lot of the joy of waking up in the morning, looking out over the balcony, is the space, which is something you wouldn't normally get in a run-of-the-mill house, should we say.
But set in a beautiful setting, and I love the way it links together. I hope you've enjoyed today's film, looking at the most incredible contemporary home. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we will try and answer your questions and also make more films going forward to help you on your self-build journey.